Welcome back. So it is day number 6 of the government shutdown. 5 websites that I use every single day that are currently heavily affected by the government shutdown. The best time for you to pivot in government contracting is right now. If you have a absurd amount of fear that government contracting is now leaving or will no longer exist, one, you're incorrect. Two, it is just for the moment and it is temporary. Okay, it will not last forever. But there are some things you need to learn and pivot so that this does not collapse your pipeline or your company. All 5 of these sites I use every day for data and analytics and transparency, and they are currently suffering. Some of these tools you may use, some of these tools I have taught you how to use. And we are at a point where everything that is federal government contracting is currently being affected. Site number one of my favorite sites that I truly enjoy is FPDS, the Federal Procurement Data System. When you log on to this website, what you're doing is market research, analysis, looking at past awards, helping you to win the future awards that you're going to win. The minute you hop on, it immediately shows you, due to temporary government shutdown, the Federal Service Desk is currently unavailable. For assistance, please refer to the help resources available. If you have any complications with FPDS, there is no one available to help you with this website. That is one hit that currently is just the hard truth of what is currently going on in the federal government. All of these websites I'm showing you, I use. There is no better time to pivot in government contracting than right now. If you don't know anything about state and local bidding, now is the time to learn. And it's a much easier process than you think. If you can win an award on SAM.gov, you can win an award state and local, and you already have an advantage because you already built up past performance. If you're just starting in government contracting, the best way to go is local and state. October 13th, 11 a.m. via Zoom, I am hosting a masterclass that will literally show you how to do just exactly that. How to win local and state contracts and build leverage so when this government shutdown is over, you can come out here, swing, and hit a home run. But right now, I would stay off of SAM.gov. It is just temporary, but I would use this time to pivot and learn about state and local bidding. All right, so FPDS.gov was affected. There's another site that was affected, grants.gov. This is the hub for people who are applying for grants, and it falls in the same wheelhouse of government contracting, same funding line. Okay. As soon as you hop on, it says warning status. There has been a lapse in appropriated federal funds as of October 1st. Another site that is hit by the government shutdown. Service may be delayed with reduced federal support staff presence. If you have any complications with these sites, you have no assistance or no help. At this point, you need to watch tutorials on YouTube because any site you reach out to, 9 times out of 10, no one is there to assist you. That is site number 2 that is affected that I use on a daily basis. And I'm pretty sure you have your own tools that you're utilizing through government contracting. And as of lately, you have been seeing the top banners turn red or cite a warning. That is the effect of the current government shutdown. Now, I don't suggest that you go into a rabbit hole with this government shutdown, but I do ask that you pay attention to tools and events that are being affected and contracts that are being affected based on where you currently are in the space. Because we could easily go down a rabbit hole. I'm not taking it there. I'm showing you how I was affected and how going forward you could potentially be affected by these same websites that we use for data, past performance, grants, analytics. Right now is not the best time to be bidding on any federal bids. Make the state and local pivot. Okay. I heard a saying, it was a quote, more like a saying, like a statement. You can't walk through a minefield. If you're going to walk through a minefield, you should go with someone who has already navigated the minefield. You don't want to be the first one to do it, right? You don't want to be that person. You want to follow someone who has already went through the minefield and just stand behind them and follow. Okay? State and local, I have already been through the minefield. October 13th master class is going to show you exactly how to pivot and fast. All right, because there's some things that are going on locally in your county and in your state where you have the advantage. All right, SAM.gov is very cross-country logistics. It's very rare that you would shake a contracting officer's hand or a subcontractor's hand. That's just one up that you have when it comes to county and state. And there's multiple. There's multiple. All right, so let's go into number 3. Here's another tool that I use that's heavily affected. usaspending.gov. So immediately, due to a lapse in funding, there may be a delay in the release of data and support for this website. We will resume our normal data publication schedule and support operations once funding is restored. We don't even have a timeline. We don't know when funding is going to be restored. Okay, so this is very helpful for wage determination, seeing what agency is spending what, subcontractor data, and right now it is frozen. Nothing is being updated into the system because of the government shutdown. All right, and I really love this tool. I love FPDS, grants.gov, and USA Spending. I'm showing you all 5 because they are affected. All right. Number 4 is the SBA. Okay. Senate Democrats voted to block a clean federal funding bill leading to a government shutdown that is preventing the U.S. Small Business Administration from serving America's 36 million small businesses. I think that this is the agency who got hit the hardest, like a blow to the face. There is so many of us that fall in the small business category. There are so many good resources out there. This is the site where you apply for certifications for a small business. This is the site where a lot of resources are set in place for our small businesses. And it is currently at a standstill. They're currently at a point where they cannot operate. So it says every day that the Senate Democrats continue to oppose a clean funding bill, they are stopping an estimated 320 small businesses from accessing $170 million. Now, I think that there's a typo here. I think that's supposed to say million. They are stopping an estimated 320 million. I don't think they meant 320, but that's just my opinion. From accessing 170 million in SBA guaranteed funding. The SBA is a great agency to work with. They help you get your company off of the ground. They have resources, funding, workshops, networking events, so many good things that they bring to the table, and they're completely frozen. They cannot make any decisions. They cannot provide any resources. I think that this agency was really hit the hardest out of these 5 agencies or websites that I am sharing with you, because so many of us guys fall under this category. We're all small businesses. We won't be forever, but right now we are. And it's just really a hard truth that this is happening right now. Federal government's Q1 just launched October 3rd. So the very beginning of the quarter for the federal government is a mess. Complete mess. All right. So, in my opinion, SBA was really hit. Everybody was hit tough, but SBA, that one meant something really to me because I fall in that category. And another one for GSA is eoffer.gsa.gov. The minute you hop on here, this is for the GSA schedule, there is a warning that says this is a General Services Administration federal government computer system that is for official use only. Um, well, let's acknowledge that first. A new modification type is available in eMod that closes contracts to new awards. Please see this Interact post. So this one wasn't really hit as hard. Um, oh yeah, so I thought that was a government update, but four that I just shared with you, okay, that you need to know about are all federal. They're all on a federal level. So if I show you some state portals, there are no um, any updates or any type of headlines stating anything about the government shutdown. So, for instance, let's just go to New York State Contract Reporter. Sorry, someone just dropped something. I lost my train of thought. So, this is New York State Contract Reporter. This is a state website. Anything in New York State that you would like to bid on is on this website. There's a total available opportunities is 872. The minute you hop on, you do not see anything that reflects government shutdown. This is a state portal, not heavily it's affected. All right, let's look at a local county. This is Buffalo, New York, Erie County. You don't see anything stating that they were affected by the government shutdown. So this is a local portal. New York State Contract Reporter is a state portal. So the first four that I showed you were federal. The last two that I showed you were local and state. And neither one of these say anything about a government shutdown. SAM.gov was the hardest that was hit. There needs to be a pivot because if you do not pivot immediately, your pipeline is just going to get clogged and backed up, and it's going to start to just dissipate. There's going to be too much of a gap to where you're not even bidding because all you know is SAM.gov. You need someone who can teach you local and state contracting. And who better than yours truly? I have been through the minefield in the last 15 months. These master classes are tailored October 13th around everything that you're facing and challenging, but there are so many opportunities that you are all overlooking when it comes to local and state. I cannot tell you because when you ask someone, what is the first thing that you've heard about government contracting? The first thing that they will tell you is SAM.gov. They won't say anything about local contracts. They won't say anything about state contracts. They will just talk about SAM. You are driving past multiple opportunities per day that have dollar signs all over them. You are missing opportunities to shake hands one on one, face to face, because all you know is SAM.gov. Expand and open up your mind frame to understand that more government contracts are alive than SAM.gov. All right. Whatever you are thinking, That is good. Think bigger. And I've been going live in the middle of the day, but the government shutdown is something y'all should be paying attention to. Now, I'm I'm not saying go down a rabbit hole, all right? Because I'm not telling you that, but you should be educated on what is currently going on because it's a mess. Like right now, it's a mess. There's a lot of things that are causing confusion. So those five websites, grants.gov, fpds.gov, SBA, eOffer, and usaspending.gov, I use them every day, and they're heavily affected because of what's going on. So 6 days in, everything is a mess. Federal government is in Q1, and it's just sheer mayhem. Everything is froze, paused. Like I can't stand the word froze. Like don't freeze anything that I got going on. Don't freeze nothing that I got going on because I feel attacked. I feel attacked. I feel attacked. All right. So if you're using a portal, it's not going to be affected as long as you think. But the pivot of this is deeper than the surface. A lot of you are scared of local and state contracts. Some of you don't even know that they exist. You're driving by them every single day. You're driving past millions of dollars worth of work being done, and you hop on sam.gov. I don't feel no animosity towards Sam. I never won a contract on sam.gov. I bid it in the beginning of my career 3 times and I lost. And I decided that there was a gray area and I made a pivot and I moved towards local and state contracting because I was so frustrated. This is just my opinion. Sam.gov is a great tool. There's data and analytics on there. There's a lot of things that you can research, but I've never won a bid on Sam and I don't hate it, but look at what's going on. Like, take a look at what is going down on sam.gov. There's people in the middle of contracts who their funds are frozen. When October 15th comes around and it is time for your account to clear and your invoices to clear and you're dealing with a federal government contract, yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit. Like a lot of companies are going to be extremely upset. A lot of companies are going to be bottlenecked, backlogged, pipelines frozen. The pivot is state and local. And a lot of y'all know I pivoted because of the simple fact that trucking wasn't doing what it promised me. The market never turned around, right? So I had to immediately pivot and make sure it was profitable. And for me, that was government contracting. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to turn and look the other way and see dollar signs in another direction. Government contracting is not over because of a government shutdown. It's over up here because you amping it. You amping it. You're making the most of it. But there's other avenues that you can take that you're completely ignoring. All right, so if you're new here, like, subscribe. October 13th, this masterclass, and I'm telling you, it's a powerhouse. This mind frame that you have about local and state being so tough to conquer, it is not that. It is this. It is this. All right, so link is in the chat. It's a beautiful Monday morning. So I'm glad I got to come on here and show you because I was searching on some sites, doing some research on some past contracts, and I'm like, wait a minute, every site that I hopped on, I see some kind of delay or some kind of freeze or frozen, or I'm like, we gotta push this out here. So what sites are you seeing that you're currently using that are giving you a red notice? That's what we'll call it. We'll call it a red notice. What sites are you on that you're using for government contracting that are giving you a red notice currently? Put them in the chat. Whatever you are thinking that is good, think bigger.